Hello, my name is Superglide. Welcome to the GuildRock server, and I'm just going to give you an update on a few things that's actually been happening around my base. Because you might see my lovely outpost has got a lot of trees around it right now. So what I've been doing is a little bit of terraforming, and I've basically put in some crop areas around there, kind of using an old Aztec design that they used to use to turn swampland into arable land. And feed everybody, and that really seemed to hit the sustainable kind of solar punk vibe I was going for, and I think that looks really cool. So we'll just give a quick fly pass around there. We've got an allay down there as well, because I've got some kelp underneath there, so he's my kelp collector. As you can see, I've kind of been working on trees. I'm not convinced it's perfect yet, but it's definitely looking good. But the other thing I've done is around my portal, which I've done in the trails kind of vibe, I've turned it into a sort of a cave area, complete with an underground stables, which I'm still working on, but I think it's starting to really take shape. As you can see, really, I wanted to make this look a dense area with, you know, lots of foresty and my paths leading through to all the places, but because I've got the jungle trees in there, they really are dominating on the height, and I think everything needs to be at around about that kind of height. So I'll be stripping some of these away and we'll be seeing what happens. But in the meantime, I'm going to show you one of the little things I've been working on down here. And here we are. If anyone remembers in the last season, basically, I made a goat horn farm underneath one of my bases, and this is really just the culmination of that. Really, it's instead of having this hulking great thing with tons of goats at the top, and then waiting for them to grow up and then come down into the side, I've managed to cut this down to this, and in a short amount of time I've already got a good selection of the goat horns. And I'm not looking out to go and sell them this particular time, otherwise I'd really be ramping that up and having more than one unit, I think. But it's perfect just to get enough for my guild and a few other fun games and pranks and things like that that we might possibly do. So what we've basically got here is we've got an area here that when the goats trip the tripwires, it moves the armor stand out of the way that they're going to be charging at, so they hit the natural stone there and then lose their goat horn, and underneath here I've got a rail going on as well to go and get that. So all I need to do what are you doing here? Let's see, let's get this right. So, go and see my normal goats here. Then I'll spit a baby out, and then all I'll do is I'll go away AFK or hang around my base, and he'll grow up, grow his horns, and then charge at the stands, and then we'll get the horns dropped in there. I'll go up and breed another one. So that's it on the GuildRock side of things. And here I am with a breakdown of the actual build here, in case you want to learn to build it yourself. On my creative flat world, there are a couple of things that you need to bear in mind before we do anything. And let's just get into creative. Okay, I'll just clear these off here. One of the things you're going to find when you're doing this build is armor stands move funny sometimes depending on the direction. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to place these armor stands down here, bang on the honey block. Now, as you'll see, each of these pistons is pointing in a different direction. So if I go and flip that one and flip it back, that's heading towards the positive y-axis and then back, and that has stayed perfectly on the honey block. If I go look at this one, this goes to the negative y-axis and back, and as you can see, it's slipped off the honey block. What that's telling me is we don't want to build with the pistons going in that direction. We want them going in that direction, because that way they'll stay where they're supposed to be. These ones will fall off and you'll lose them, and the build just won't work. This one is going in the positive x-axis, and you see that's returning to where it's supposed to be. This one is going in the negative x-axis, and that has moved again. So these are, for this particular world, the two directions. I'm going to say, if in doubt, just go and build a quick one of these. All it is 6 bits of glazed terracotta, bit of glass, honey block, piston, and a lever, and then with the armor stand on top of it, which are all basically parts you're going to need for this part of the farm anyway. So just build one and test it before you actually crack on with making the build itself. So first thing to show you is we're going to need a track area underneath. So what I end up doing is this is about a chunk's wide. So if you can chunk a line this within a chunk, that's fantastic. And all we want is just basically 2 spaces where we put ourselves down some glazed terracotta. We want to run rail around it, and then 4 pieces of powered rail, 2 pieces of not, 4 pieces of powered rail, and then we're mirroring exactly what we're doing on that side on this side as well. What I've got down there, as you can see, I've just got a lever there to power that, and underneath here I've got hoppers leading to that chest. Piston above those, and then behind the piston we're digging out and going 1 block along, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to there. And I'm just also, I use the flooring I'm going to use as a marker there just to help me be absolutely clear where the tripwires are going to go, because the tripwires are going to go across this bit here. So moving on to the next part of the build, I've put in a rail cart at the bottom, I've put flooring in, and I've put in the mechanisms here. So you've got the honey, you've got the glass, you've got the bits of glazed terracotta, and these are bits that are ultimately going to be wall. This bit here needs to be free because it needs to let the glass move in and out. And as you can see, we're putting tripwire, block the tripwires on is then above the rail redstone line we've got down there. So you can see that whenever a goat wants to try and move and crosses that tripwire, it's causing those stands to move, and they are not moving off that that block there. And then all I'm doing is in this particular bit where we have a goat in there, we've just got in some blocks around there to fill the building. We've got our natural stone behind it, and then I put glass around there so you can look in and you can see what the goat is doing and seeing whether it's got any horns or not at this particular point. Now I've put a block light in there, and I think that's a fantastic thing to do, whether you're going to use a glow light or whatever. That's because goats, if they get into there, they're less inclined to actually go and ram the armor stand. So you want to just block those off, so when they're an adult they can't get in there, and that obviously is a problem for them. So all I've done is just made this look a little pretty, really, just built up all around it. Put doors in at either side so I can get in and out, and then what I recommend you do is when you actually get 2 goats, put one of them in here. can then, once it's got its horn through there, you can see whether it's a screaming goat or whether it's a normal goat or not. And then basically, on these little structures at the top, we've got a plain one block roof, and then we've got slabs. And the reason we've got slabs here is because we don't want those two glass panes to attach to the side on there. We want them to just be there so that the babies can drop straight through. We've then got glass around, or on these sides I've actually changed the glass for just blocks so we can put ladders up and climb up to the top. Slab at the top, and if you go look on here, you can see what I've also done is put in water on that side and water on that side, so the goats then can't get out, but you can get in onto the top nice and easily, and you can go and feed them. So once you've actually got both horns off the goat that's in here, then what we're going to do is we're going to open it up, get some wheat, and lead them out. And what we do is we just lead the goat up this little ramp we built up here. And then at this point I shift so I don't fall off. And we just try and get him round to a good spot there, so we can just nudge them in. And there we go. Feed them up. Baby drops through the hole, and then all we have to do is just stay around in the area so this area chunk is loaded, and the baby will grow up, grow its horns, lose them off on the sides, and then they'll appear down here. One thing to bear in mind, it's not a completely perfect collection system. So if basically the horn ends up landing on that honey block never quite comes in contact with the full run of the hopper. So it's not perfect, but it works the vast majority of the time. And obviously, if you do spot that there's a horn in there, you can go in and nip and just grab it yourself. And obviously, we can just take those away. I would recommend you have normal goats on one side and screaming goats on the other, if you manage to find some. And there we have it. We have how to build a semi-automatic goat farm. All you need to do is, like I say, catch the goats and get them into one of the breeding chambers, and basically whenever you need a fresh goat, go in, either reclaim the goat for another breeding session, because obviously you can build as many of these as you like in a row, and you can always just lead one to the breeding chamber of the next one, or you can just kill them off and then just go breed up another one. I would strongly recommend not putting you can sometimes put in two goats in there. I'd only ever do that with two normal goats. Screaming goats will actually headbutt each other, and screaming goats will also get you those horns faster than anything else. Thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe, and if you feel like it, why not just watch another quick video, or maybe even one of my colleagues from the GuildRock server. Thank you very much. What's this in the shopping district? Crime scene? Oh, this must be when Natty blew up Joe Buffalo's base by pressing the button. Let me see. Do not press button. Don't press button, it causes boom. Natty. Yeah, I gathered. Shocking. Wow. Oh, what's this? Cat scene investigator? That's odd. There's another one of them too. I wonder what that's about. Curiouser and curiouser.